Run Local is our company in that we produce special events mainly around the Bay Area. We're heading down to Santa Barbara, and they're very much about like appreciating your local community. Like you run there, you live there. For us, it's a charity that might be involved in that 5K or 10K. We partner with local businesses as our sponsors. We integrate with local running clubs, all those little different things. And that's very like running world based. But I think what's really fun is we're going to take this ethos of Run Local, the generosity of Salomon, who's our sponsor in 2021, and one of your ideas. And I was curious if you could share, what we have coming up on Global Running Day and through the month of June that kind of fits into this.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been trying to figure out how to get more people involved in this idea of every single street. And I approached Solomon and we approached you guys and to kind of do this collaboration of every single street Telegraph Hill.
Yeah.
So kind of revisiting where the project started off for me in San Francisco, shrinking it down to a bite-size run in arguably one of the most iconic neighborhoods, not just in the city, but in the country and in the world. So yeah, I just thought it would be really cool to do this project and just have a taste of it. And so I actually went out to San Francisco. I'm pretty sure Telegraph Hill, if you do all the streets, it's like 20 miles and 6,000 vertical feet of climbing. I had to make sure that that was accurate, and I'm glad to say that that
I'm
was
glad
not
that it was not.
accurate.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so
Because I have to
10,
do it as well, I think. Yeah.
yeah, so 10 miles and about 2,500, 2,000 or 2,500 vert. So it's very easily done in an afternoon or in a morning. I shouldn't say easily because you still have to figure out all the math and
Yeah.
the route finding and all of that. So yeah, I went out and revisited that neighborhood and just got to re-experience the love that I have for the project, which is to like truly be present in a place for multiple hours. That's kind of the idea behind the parameters of every single street, is being present in a place for a long enough period of time that you can actually sort of begin to understand that area and how it fits into a larger picture. So on June 2nd, we're gonna launch every single street Telegraph Hill. It's gonna run through the month of June. We're encouraging everybody in the Bay Area that wants to take a crack at this to head over to Telegraph Hill. I will have the exact parameters of the project up on your website and in a couple other places. And to just try it out, and then to kind of put the challenge a little bit further out there for a broader community. We're kind of calling the challenge 10 miles of every single street. So maybe you live in Texas or out on the East Coast somewhere. We're just trying to encourage people to take this idea of every single street and apply it to their neighborhood. And go out there and just do the 10 strangest, seemingly the 10 strangest miles that you've ever done before.
Up and down,
running
in and
up
out,
and down, yeah, dead ends, back
dead
and
ends,
forth,
courtyards, court.
yeah, and to just really appreciate being present in these places. I think that's kind of the idea behind this project. That's what's fascinated me so much about it, and I think it's also what has caught a lot of people's attention. Is just being present in these places that we're typically accustomed to going through a routine, and to kind of shake up that routine a little bit and realize that you have very specific paths in your day-to-day life. And what if you introduced a strange challenge with strange parameters that shakes up that routine a little bit and opens your eyes and your ears and your whole being to a different environment, or I should say the same environment but in a different way.
Well, maybe a former convict will invite them over to stay at the house and have a cup of coffee. That'd be great. Or
Totally.
maybe a
Take,
maybe a bus
yeah,
driver will pull over and open the thing and say, "Here's a who needs a ride home," or something like
yeah.
that. Their
Or
own
maybe
little
you'll
mark.
find $5.
Or maybe you find $5. I love
Yeah.
it. So, I mean, there's nothing that is the epitome of run local more than every single street. It's just like knowing a place to the nth degree and then starting to see the patterns that might erupt over that time, or getting to know, you know what, I'm going to go to that coffee shop, or I didn't know that thing was there, or be inspired by somebody's garden, or it really is. um who knows? It's so cool. But I love the part where, yes, it's Telegraph Hill every single street, and we're encouraging all of our runners in the Bay Area to go experience it sometime in June 2nd through the end of the month. But that anybody around the world can though make their own little adventure in their hometown, with a 10-mile journey up and down the streets. So cool. I love how that came
Yeah.
together, and I
And
appreciate
there,
the inspiration.
yeah, and there's very few things that I can guarantee in life, but I can guarantee that if you take on this project, no matter where you are, that you're going to encounter things that you never knew existed in your own hometown. No matter how long you've lived there, you're going to see things that you never saw before. So
That's cool.
I think that's pretty awesome.
That is really awesome. So we are asking people to sign up. We have a light waiver. It's just that, you won't jump in front of a bus or something like that. But www.runlocalevents.com/every single street. You can find it at runlocalevents.com. We'll have links to it, and we'll be sharing it all over the place. But that helps us keep it under control. Another cool part about it is that there will be some physical maps of Telegraph Hill. Ricky's already drawn it, I think, with at least one version of it, and we're integrating it into kind of a trifold thing, so it'd be easy to hold while you're out tracking your progress. These will be found at local running shops throughout San Francisco. So we're looking at a Runner's Mind, Sports Basement, and then I think SF Run Co. across the bridge over in Marin. So those will be out there starting May 26th. And throughout the month. But you'll be able to pick a physical version up, or if you are so inclined and you actually own a printer, which no one does anymore, then you can print one off at home and follow along. But I think it's kind of cool to have that analog piece to it. I know you had a map, didn't you, when you were running around every single street?
Totally. I've got a stack of them. Yeah,
Not
part
a
of
map.
my yeah, part of my routine with running every street in San Francisco was to go find a Kinko's, um, get on their computer, screenshot the Yahoo maps of the neighborhood that I wanted to do, print it out, and then I'd have that physical map just because it was so much easier to have the physical map in hand rather than constantly looking at my phone.
There you go. There's tips already. Bring
Yeah.
the physical for
Yeah.
this version. I'm going to be out there on Global Running Day. I'm going to try to tackle it first thing in the morning and kind of give a version of it from Run Local's point of view. And luckily, for the first time in a while, I'm not injured, so I'm going to come hopefully nice and easy and run 10 miles and a whole bunch of vert, but get to see one of my favorite neighborhoods in the world. It really is. Coit Tower, and just above North Beach, and overlooking the ferry building when you get to the top there. I mean, there's views of the entire bay. Uh, it's a special spot, but I'm sure there a lot of people will find their own little spots around the world.